I'm here with Mike Williams today from No Limits Fitness and Digitally Fit. Now, Mike, you are in the process of pivoting from your fitness business into a marketing business. Tell me a little bit as a business owner, going through that process and how you've been able to do that.
4 years ago, I was at a point where I was really struggling to drive new customers in and increase sales and find effective marketing solutions. I tried all kinds of stuff. Was doing was copying other local businesses and doing what they were doing, and from postcards, other print publications, direct mail, Google ads, all kinds of things. And I couldn't find anything that worked. And then some of the other businesses that I'd copied, they started going out of business. And I soon found that I was copying a broken business model with a gym. And so I got a business coach and somebody had done it, and they had, success leaves clues. And so I went with someone who already had the business that I wanted, and I got them to coach me through what they did. And that was how I sort of ventured into the world of social media marketing, learning how to do that. I learned how to optimize the traffic that I was already getting and how to convert it. Like, how can you turn all that into sales, and what's the purpose of your website, things like that. And so you could take resources and assets that you already have in place and actually get them to work for you. And that was incredibly transformational. And then learning how to go about marketing on social media. So I had tried it before and I thought it didn't work. And I would craft my posts, and I would, they had that thing where you can only get like 20% of your words into a post to run it. And I'd messed with all that. And so I kept increasingly making my font smaller and smaller, to the point where you needed a magnifying glass to, kind of get the grasp of my ad. So it wasn't effective. And so I thought I knew what I was doing, but it turns out I didn't. I got the coaching that I needed, and I just dove in head first and just sucked it up like a sponge. The first time I did it, I overwhelmed myself. I sent more business to myself in a day than I could handle.
You're talking about investing in somebody who's truly a professional to help you and advise you. Absolutely. Instead of looking around and just saying, well, this is what everyone else does, so I'm going to try it. And you saw that wasn't where things were headed.
No, because it wasn't what I found. There was no one in the area that was using these strategies. They weren't up to date with the technology, with where it was headed. And so it had exploded in all these other areas of the country, but it wasn't here. And when I tapped into that, I took off immediately. Honestly, I had some pretty dark days as a business owner. I went a really solid, probably 2 months where every day I went home and was struggling with how it was just weighing on me. Like, I didn't know how I was going to tell everybody that I had to close my business, because I couldn't keep it. I was losing thousands every month. It felt like a failure. I struggled, and I was trying all kinds of stuff, and just nothing gained traction until I came across. I learned how to do this, and very quickly turned things around for me.
So the business that you're pivoting to right now, you're using the strategies that you learned to turn around your business, mm-hmm. and you're looking to help people in this area, because it's not like you invented it, but there are very few people that are actually using the tools that are available to them on these social media platforms to maximize their reach, to maximize their marketing dollars. So tell us a little bit what Digitally Fit does, mm-hmm. and maybe give us a little insight on, if you're doing this in your business, you're throwing away your marketing dollars. So maybe you can kind of help us out there.
Yeah, I learned that aesthetics, like the aesthetics of a post, doesn't always translate into effectiveness. Sometimes what you think as a business owner, especially in fitness, what you think resonates with your customer might repel a new customer. And in making that shift, simply posting on a page that's not social media marketing. That's not what helps you gain that traction. You're very limited by your organic reach. You're that obscure business out there and nobody knows who you are. And you can quickly change that with significantly less marketing dollars than you could on other platforms. Consumer behavior's changed, and that's the big shift. we understand enough that a yellow page ad is would be silly right now because we don't have landlines and we don't use phone books. What good comes in the mail anymore? Like you get very few letters in the mail. But every day it's a ton of junk, and you may get like 1 or 2 bills in the mail. Outside of that, there's really not much to look forward to, unless for whatever the packages are you've ordered on Amazon, and those don't come in the form of postcards. So most of that stuff just hits the trash. And so marketing that way, it's expensive. It's all encompassing. You're getting all the households in a given area, and it's just not a good use of your money. Like, so you're going into a very general audience, and a lot of times you're ending up in the trash, or it's wasted. It's just traffic. Banner ads used to be really, really effective on online, but consumers have kind of figured it out. They're not clicking on that stuff as much anymore. Same as Google AdWords. Like it's been around for quite a while, and unless your business is really, really, really an emergency, like if your AC goes out in Florida, well, you're probably gonna you'll sell your firstborn, or you'll sell your car to get your AC fixed. Yeah, and so in that respect, sometimes that Google AdWords can work for you because it's pay-per-click and you can make yourself come up on the first page. But outside of that, like it says ad beside it, like people know it's an ad. And so the click-through rates on those are significantly down from what they were 5 years ago. Consumers' behavior has changed significantly. And that's where social media can come in. And so like TV commercials have really dominated probably the last 4 or 5 decades. And we can understand how impactful that is. And that but with consumer behavior, we don't watch TV to buy stuff outside of the QVC crowd, but I'm not in that, so I don't understand it. You watch TV for entertainment, but there's advertisements on there, and that's if it's influenced your buying decisions. And so maybe you saw a new car commercial and like a new model came out, and you're like, wow, but it makes you want it. Like, and we all, we know what new car fever is like. If you catch it, you're buying a new car. And that's kind of how that medium's work, but everything's shifted so much now, and the overwhelming majority of people are watching, they're getting their visual entertainment, so to speak, from Amazon Prime, Hulu, Fire Stick, Netflix. There's all these other mediums where they can take in that entertainment, watch it on demand, and skip through commercials. And so it's not the greatest way to get your message across, and it's still really expensive. But you can effectively do the same thing with social media. You can craft your commercial, create your message, but you can make it come on your customer's favorite station when they're watching. And the best part about it is that they engage with that commercial, or if they watch it, you can make them see it over and over again.
I think there's a lot of people that say things move way too fast in marketing and advertising, and it's scary to me. In my opinion, they should have the opposite view, because things are actually becoming less and less expensive to acquire the right types of customers if you're willing to have an advisor, have somebody who is there to help you through the process, who knows what they're doing. And it's one of those things that it's an investment. It's not a cost. You are investing in the right type of exposure that's going to drive revenue to your business. And you mentioned your own personal story, which I really appreciate, saying, you were really struggling. And every business owner at some point or another is going to probably go through a point where things are going to be really tough. And luckily you persevered, you found the tools. Your business is doing great now to a point where you're kind of pulling yourself away from it. It's going to be able to run on its own to some degree, and you're able to open a second business where you're using the tools and the knowledge that helped save your business, work with other business owners in this area that may be faced with similar problems. Obviously, you're not Mother Teresa. You're going to be making money off of it, but that's what it's about. If you're bringing value to others, you'll profit from it. So it's cool. Tell me a little bit more, just to dive in a little bit further on the complicated parts, or what people, if they think they're doing social media, lay some hard facts on me. What is the reality of saying, I put some posts on my Facebook page, I got this handled. What's the reality of that you often is sobering for business owners when you talk to them?
Putting a lot of value in how many likes you have on your page. So your organic reach of a Facebook page is probably less than 2% of the people that have liked it. So if you've got about 5,000 likes on your page, that's about 100 people that are going to see a given post and like what you're going to reach. And it tends to, so that's how social media works. They serve two audiences. It's a free platform for the users, and their ultimate goal is to make it like the best user experience possible. The revenue is generated from paid advertising, but they want to make sure that they're showing relevant ads to the people that are on the platform. So if you're not ever interested in something, they don't want to keep showing you ads for that because it doesn't make sense. But a lot of times business owners will think that, they're super active on social media, and there's all these people that tell you need to post, this many times a day on this platform and this much on this platform. And that's great because your page is active, but it doesn't mean it's being seen. And, so on average, if you've got 5,000 page likes and you make a post, around 100 people are going to see it. And so to kind of put that into perspective, as you get that friend you connected with a while ago, but you haven't sort of seen anything from them on Facebook, you haven't engaged with any of their posts or their content, and then all of a sudden you find out that they had a kid. You're like, how'd that happen? Like, how'd you have? Like, well, it was on Facebook, you didn't see it on there, but you weren't overly engaging with their stuff, and so it's not coming up through your Facebook feed, and so it's the people and the friends that you have. Unless you've got 3 friends on Facebook, but if you've got like 1,000, you're not going to see, the posts from all those 1,000 people. The people that you're engaging with the most, that's what's going to show up in your Facebook feed. And the same thing applies to a business. Like if a given person's not overly engaged with your stuff, they're not going to see every post that you have. And that's why you can go on there and the back end metrics of that stuff, it tells you how many people saw it. And so that's what matters. And so it's not so much that, yes, it's important to be active on social media, but at the same time understand that it's a pay to play platform. And so if you have an overly engaging piece of content, but then you may want to put something behind that or get a strategy built around that. That's success leaves clues, and that's kind of giving you a better indication of what your audience might be more interested in. Get more content around that, and then you can get more traction.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity utilizing tools like Facebook because it is Big Brother. It knows a lot of information about lots of people that are on it.
Absolutely.
And you can use that as an advertiser and a marketer, but that's only one step. Some people say, I can create a target for my ad and I put $50 in for the month and it's going to go after those people. And that's kind of the old approach of, people were doing that on TV. Well, people who like golf also have a lot of money on average. And so, that would be good for a financial advisor to put their commercial on golf. Well, you can do so much more with Facebook, but you got to go many layers deep, including even tools onto your website and how to manage certain bots and all these activities and how are they going to fit together to drive revenue, to drive, customers actually coming in the doors and spending money on your product or service. And that's really what you specialize in, really understanding how that system works.
Yeah. So Facebook's they have tracking code. So there's a Facebook pixel, and there's very, very few businesses that actually have that in play.
And you research this. I mean, you are looking for these businesses, and you can tell within a second of going on there.
Yeah, it takes about 5 seconds to see if somebody's got that code. So most people understand, or they may have Google Analytics on their site. They might. There's code out there on Facebook, and that tracks your activity, and you can put that code on your website, which allows you to retarget your web traffic. So you could retarget people who have landed on a specific page of your website. About 70% of all online shopping carts are abandoned and they don't follow through with the purchase. But we've all probably done that, where you went to buy something on the internet and you don't follow through with it. The next thing you know, you're getting an email back, or you're getting something back. It starts popping up. Hey, we'll give you a 10% off or 15% off if you complete your purchase. Like, how do they know I did that? Well, they're using some sort of retargeting on that. It's not. So it's free. Facebook gives you a free Facebook pixel. You simply have to claim it, copy, paste it, put it in the header of your website, and that just unlocks a ton of potential with what you can do there. You can create custom audiences with it. And so if there are people that have engaged with some of that stuff, you can track that traffic if you know how to do it. And that's where you can put all in, but the interest that they have in there. You think about all the things over the last 3 to 5 years where you had the opportunity to, create a new user ID and a new password, and like every time I talk to somebody, like, I just wish I had more passwords in my life. Like, okay, that's nobody. So, but one of the options you've got is you could log in with your Facebook account, or maybe you can log in with your Google account. And so, yeah, you're doing that. But when you're doing that, you're sharing information. They have a ton of information on all of us as to what our likes and dislikes are. And so it isn't a bad thing necessarily. That's what keeps you from seeing ads, about, something that you just don't care
irrelevant
about.
to me.
Yeah. Like if you don't care about like mud wrestling, and then like you're not going to see a bunch of mud wrestling ads come up in your Facebook feed if that's not something that you've looked into as an interest.
Yeah.
But if you are concerned in you're looking into, let's say, like a vacationing in a certain state, or you're something like that, it's going to track your interest, and it can show you something that's a relevant offer for you.
And businesses that understand this are going to put their content in front of those people
Absolutely.
who are looking and have an interest in that particular product, service, or like you mentioned, a vacation in a certain area.
Yeah, that's one of the things as a business owner. Like we kind of get caught up drinking our own Kool-Aid, and you've got to realize that you want to understand like your customer value journey. What is it? Because they're not sitting there like they're not sitting on their couch and they hear about your business and then they just jump up. Oh, I have to go do this right now. It's not how it usually works. You don't see that car commercial and jump off the couch and you go run down there and just go buy it right then. It typically takes a few times, and like depending on who you talk to, it's anywhere from 7 to 10, maybe 15 different touches or impressions to get somebody to take action. They have to warm up to the concept of doing business with you.
Yeah, there's a journey.
Yeah, and so it's important to understand what that journey is for your business, and it's different.
For the product or service you're trying to sell.
You don't have to warm me up a whole lot for a $10 hamburger. I'm down. So
just takes one. And some convenience. But if it's something more complex, say even it's a business-to-business transaction or it's a larger transaction, there's still opportunities with platforms like Facebook and Instagram and obviously LinkedIn that businesses can utilize, and they're really not, especially not in Brevard.
Yeah, and those are things that are really going to work for you, because typically, especially if it's a larger transaction, the bigger the transaction, the more homework your customer's probably going to do. They're going to check out your social media pages. They're going to check out your website. They're going to look for your reviews. And so that stuff matters, and just understanding that they're going to go through that. It's why it's so important to make sure that you've got good quality content there, and that you understand like how to massage that traffic so that your business can actually take away tangible results. That's the beauty of when you're marketing this way and you understand how to do this. You can track it. You know how much. So if you're spending X but you're making Y, you see it. You can take the guesswork out of it, so to speak. Like no business owner wants to hear like, I know you think that your marketing didn't work, but you got all these impressions, and you hit 30,000 households in the south end of the county. But if you didn't get business, you don't care.
Where's the money?
Right, you don't care. And so when my impressions hit the bottom of somebody's trash can, I'm not interested. This shows you it's very, very, very trackable. This how many people engaged with it, what your rate was, and then so you can sort of exponentially apply that strategy, and so that that for every every 200 impressions that you're getting 50 clicks, and from 50 clicks that turns into 10 leads turns into 3 customers. Okay. Once you know that, you can then apply that to the greater strategy, get some, and that's how you expand your business.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely the ability to have metrics and analytics and then go after your specific clientele. There's no better time than now. There's never been a better time than the way it is now. So it's really exciting. Well, I appreciate you coming in, Mike. I appreciate you sharing all your stories with us. And we're going to have you come back, because there's so much more to really talk about in this avenue. Oh, absolutely. How can they find you? You can find me online. It's digitallyfit.biz. And so I'm out there I'm on Instagram, on Facebook. Then we have the gym too. So you have No Limits Fitness. We're down in West Melbourne. They can find me there too. So I'll have catch my ugly mug on the videos on both platforms. All right. Well, awesome. I appreciate it, Mike. You have a great rest of your day. Hey, Trevor. Thanks for having me.